Hope everyone's having a great day. This is Jay from J&D's Retirement Journey. For those new to the channel, we document our journey into retirement. We talk about investing and saving. Today we're going to talk about the two best Charles Schwab funds. These are funds that you could buy and hold forever. They're great for beginners. If you're starting out, guys, you really don't need to have a ton of individual stocks, especially if you don't know what you're doing. You should just get a few good ETFs and just keep investing. Make it automatic and systematic. And before you know, you'll be millionaires. The two Charles Schwab funds I love are SCHD and SWPPX. I have $93,000 invested between these two funds, and they haven't let me down over the years. Remember, guys, we started with nothing. Anyone could do this. All you have to do is make it automatic and systematic. Every paycheck, put something into your 401k or Roth IRA. Keep investing, and you'll be so surprised on how much money you'll have. If you're enjoying this type of content, please remember to hit that subscribe button, that thumbs up button, and that bell notification. And remember, guys, it's totally free to subscribe. We're going to dig into the summary on SCHD. Total assets, we're looking at close to $59 billion. Fund strategy. The investment seeks to track as closely as possible before fees and expenses the total return of the Dow Jones U.S. Dividend 100 Index. To pursue its goal, the fund generally invests in stocks that are included in the index. The index is designed to measure the performance of high dividend yielding stocks issued by U.S. companies that have a record of consistently paying dividends, selected for fundamental strength relative to their peers based on financial ratios. The fund will invest at least 90% of its assets in these stocks. The Schwab S&P 500 fund has close to $99 billion, and the inception date was 1997, and the inception date for SCHD was 2011. So these funds have been around quite a while. The investment seeks to track the total return of the S&P 500 index. The fund generally invests at least 80% of its net assets, including for this purpose any borrowings for investment purposes in these stocks. Typically, the actual percentage is considerably higher. It generally will seek to replicate the performance of the index by giving the same weight to a given stock as the index does. The index includes the stocks of 500 leading U.S. publicly traded companies from a broad range of industries. The fees and expenses for these two funds are relatively low. Net expense ratio for SCHD is 0.06. SWPPX is 0.02. The quotes, as of business 8/16/2024, SCHD closed at 81.59, a 52-week range of almost 67 to 83. The S&P 500 fund closed at almost 86 and a range of 64 to about 88, 87 and a half. SCHD, the yields. You know, I'm a dividend investor and I love my yields, but I also love growth in the S&P 500 fund. So the distribution yield for SCHD is 3.43. It pays quarterly. The S&P 500 fund is 1.23, and that pays annually. The risk and returns, the 3-year beta, 0.77 for SCHD and 1 point for SWPPX. Anything below 1 point is pretty conservative as you go into the initial minimums. For SCHD, it's an ETF. You have to buy at least one share. But for SWPPX, you can invest $1. So what's holding you back, guys? Yeah, if you haven't started, you got to start now. As we go into the Morningstar ratings for these funds are both rated pretty high, 4 and 5 star funds, as you can see right down the line. SCHD had a blip, I guess a 2-star rating for 3 years, but we like to look at the 10-year rating. We're long-term investors, and they're both rated 5 stars. Historic return is average and high for the S&P 500 fund, and the risk is below average for SCHD and average for SWPPX. And over 10 years, you could see the growth of a 10-year investment. You got to reinvest the dividends and capital gains, and it doesn't include taxes in this. So as you look at the totals, you more than tripled your money on both of these funds. You can't go wrong here. You guys could take a quick look at the year-end performance. So far as of 7/31, year to date, SCHD is up almost 11%, and SWPPX, it's up almost 17%. As we go into the portfolio here, SCHD total holdings 103% of assets in the top 10, about 41%, and most of the investments are in stocks. The S&P 500, of course, has over 500 companies. The percent of assets in top 10 is 48%, and it's all invested in stocks. As we go into the top 10 holdings for both of these funds, SCHD, you got Lockheed Martin, AbbVie, BlackRock, Home Depot, Coca-Cola, Amgen, Bristol-Myers Squibb, PepsiCo, Texas Instruments, and Verizon. For the S&P 500, you got Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Meta Class A, Google Class A, Google Class C, Berkshire Hathaway Class B, Eli Lilly, and Broadcom. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, don't be shy, guys. Hit it. It's totally free. It'll really help out the channel. As we go into the sector weightings, as you can see here by this slide, SCHD, communication services, 4%. I'm not going to go down the list. Financials seem to be the most, and then you got healthcare. As you go over to the S&P 500, you're looking at financials, IT, and consumer discretionary. Those are the top funds there. As we go over to the market cap, it's usually giant, large, and medium. They have very, very little and small and micro, both of these funds, and it's all in North America. All this information is right off the Charles Schwab website. You could do this type of research with any broker. And remember, guys, I am not a financial planner. Talk with your financial planner before you invest in any type of security. And good luck, and thanks for watching.